Listen closely to what I am about to say.
Welcome to Game Club, the podcast that's like a book club but for video games. I'm Dan, your captain in a swivel chair.
I'm Catherine, fake nerd and fake screenwriter. I'm very ill.
And I'm Charles, smuggler and nerf herder.
Welcome to episode 14. This week we played Pulsar, the Lost Colony. So, Pulsar, Lost Colony is an indie game developed by Leafy Games. It's a starship simulator in which players control a spaceship in an attempt to discover the Lost Colony. Players have the choice of classes, and up to 5 players may play at once. It's currently in alpha and hasn't got an expected release date. Now, we played this as 5, technically as 6. Josh couldn't get into our game, though.
but we heard him trying to get in.
He tried to play in VR.
VR.
Apparently, VR does not make a lot of sense.
That was his mistake. So I want to spell out a little what this game is from a visceral sense. So you've got your avatar, kind of first person view, and you're in a big spaceship, and you're actually in it. And it's got crew quarters, and it's got a bridge, and it's got all the different areas for the engineering bay and the reactor room. So it's got your whole spaceship and all the cool stuff that goes with it. And then in that spaceship with you are your 4 other friends, or 4 other players, or AI if you have no friends. And you've each got a role. So there's the pilot, the engineer, the help me out here, weapons person,
weapons specialist,
the
scientist,
and the captain.
Pilot.
Yeah, I already said pilot, Catherine. We all know about your piloting skills. So you each got a role, and you've each got your little bay and your own little section on the bridge as well, and you're doing your roles and working together to achieve things. Now, all I've ever wanted is this game, essentially. I just want to be with my friends on a ship, either in space or on the ocean, all with different roles, working together to achieve things. And this game gives it to me, and I found it so very, very satisfying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've played this before.
That goal.
It's big for me. It's big.
We had played this before in its earlier stages, and they've added some new features and fixed up the UI a little bit.
Yeah.
It certainly has a lot more added to it. And I think there's some things we didn't get to. I think there's like an arena you can go to.
I'm sure there's a lot of stuff we didn't touch on, yeah.
Yeah, but we played, and so that one person's the captain. They sort of plot the course of where you want to go, what mission you want to do. The pilot, in this case, was Catherine to begin with, then we had to sub her out for Charles.
It was difficult.
Just needed Charles's spatial awareness, I guess.
Yeah.
And so he could line us up to where we wanted to warp.
And
our friend Ash was
on point in battle. Many things.
Catherine did very well at that. In combat, she kept the guns pointed in the right direction. The engineer has to charge the warp core.
The engineer manages the power across the whole ship as well, and does
and like if it has to manage the coolant, if the core is going to overheat, they have to eject it into space. Just like a good Star Trek kind of vibe. The scientist, who was being played by our good friend Jonesy, listener of the show, he's we weren't really sure what he did, but
I don't think he was.
He
really
did
sure
something.
What he did. He teleported to other ships. You can teleport to other ships, by the way, and he did a lot of that and shot
space
up the crew of the other
stations
ships.
Yep.
And planets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Charles had a good time.
Charles just wants to play. The thing is, you want to play this. You want to play this game, I think, with friends. I think you're gonna struggle if you have to play with the bots. The bots AI isn't terrible. Like, it'll follow you around. It'll do things.
But it's a pickup group, I guess.
Yeah,
wouldn't be the same.
True.
Wouldn't be the same. It's the interactions that are the great thing. So the graphics of the game are pretty loose. I mean, it's a small indie team, or maybe even one guy putting this thing together, and
That's
the
a team.
scope. You don't know that? Oh wait,
yes,
Leafy
I do.
Games.
I looked it up.
It's probably a team. Good for you.
I looked it
Good
up.
researching.
That's the kind of professionalism you get on Game Club.
Yeah. Getting bagged out for doing research.
I imagine it's a small team. Can I get a bit of a support on that one?
It's a small team. Yep.
Yeah, good. Small team. So, and the scope they've gone for is epic. Like, there's so many places you can go to and different things you can do. So
it's interesting. I reckon it's not actually as epic as you think, but it feels epic, which is the mark of good design.
Yeah, correct.
It feels like there's so many planets you can go.
It's all about the interactions and gameplay, which I think are optimal when you're doing it with friends.
Yeah.
They're very specifically, and they sort of mention this in their mission statement. People have asked them, is there going to be a PvP mode or a ship versus ship? However, they've said, look, no, we want to create a co-op experience that is just you and your friends versus the expanse, right? Like, and there is that. I mean, maybe down the track, if they get a bunch more interest, expanding that or having bigger ship crews could be really interesting. But I think 5 works well.
5 felt good. Yeah,
that was great. Yeah, there was enough room in the bar for like celebratory drinks after a successful mission. These are the important things that we did.
Yeah, we role played a little bit. We played in the space.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, just the bar, and you had your little cute crew quarters and where you could keep your stuff, and it all felt very personal and kind of fun.
You got an allowance from the captain. How cool is that? So the captain like tells you how much money you're allowed to spend when you have shore leave, when you get to a space station and you teleport over. Like just cool little things like that make it really nifty. It's really nifty.
Yeah, and it was, if you've listened to our FTL episode, you probably would notice a lot of similarities, except instead of you as an overlord controlling all your crew, in this game, each person is one of those crew members, and they have that autonomy being a real person. So we came into contact with an enemy ship and we were shooting at them with the guns. I think the science officer
ship that we tried to extort money from, and then when they denied and attacked us, we blew them up.
Who's to say what the captain decided, what the captain did or didn't try and extort?
Definitely an enemy.
So the science officer now, I remember, can use virus programs to sort of reboot shields or sort of take down enemy shields. Catherine, I think, was piloting for us at the time, and we teleported
I was on weapons. I was on weapons.
You on weapons?
Because I then blew you all up.
That's right. So we teleported across to the enemy ship. We started shooting them all. I think I died once. There's a respawn timer similar to Black Wake, I suppose. And we went over there and we killed some of their crew and then just started shooting up their engineering bay. Mm-hmm. So their shields wouldn't recharge. They wouldn't have enough power. And then Catherine blew up their ship with us still on board.
I mean, she could have said, hey guys, the ship's about to blow. It's time to get
said
off.
It's almost dead. I'm pretty sure the record will show.
Having fun.
The record will show. I was like, the ship is almost dead, guys.
Yeah, but I thought you were talking about our ship because our ship was almost dead.
Yeah, we were losing. We were losing that match until we teleported. Like, I just dropped the pilot controls. I'm like, that's it. We're going over. Mainly because then we'd survive in their ship if ours blew up. Was my chief concern.
True. It does have that option. So if your ship blows up, you can hack into the enemy ship by just sort of standing around their consoles, and you can take them over and sort of continue on.
So good.
Other aspects of the game we didn't really get to is sort of if you do stupid things like we did and you lose sort of faction points. There are a couple of different factions.
Yeah, reputation.
So there's the Alliance of Gentlemen, the WD Corporation, and the Colonial Union, as well as some other sort of neutral factions. And you can kind of burn a lot of bridges by being a dick, which, or you can go and do missions and sort of gain favor. All the while, though, the longer you play, there's sort of like an encroaching alien force, I think, that sort of starts infecting the galaxy. And so the longer you play, that sort of starts taking over more systems if you don't do the main storyline or something. I'm not really sure what the end game goal of this is, but
it's to find the lost colony. It's in the title.
Well, thank you.
Deep burn. Holy shit, I want to find the lost colony. I really want to play this more with you guys. I'm just putting that out there.
We had a whole bunch of missions, like smuggler missions.
It's got so much potential.
Yeah, there was like a mission we had to go get a dehydrated sandwich.
Can we redirect the podcast to be only about Pulsar and our missions and adventures?
I don't think so. However, I did capture sort of an hour or so of our gameplay, so I might chuck that up on the website, or
you should edit some of it in
to patrons. Yeah, I'll definitely edit the footage in for the YouTube channel. But if you want our weird commentary of us, our comms as we play it, you might have to support the show or something. I don't know. It gets a bit loose.
just a smidge. Yeah. So any just strengths of the game. Look, there's plenty of weaknesses. Like let's be honest here. So it's in alpha version. So the shooting is not tactile. I mean, the little laser bolts running around and it's there's a lot of unpolished stuff in the game, but what it does well, it does excellently.
And the feel of it is really fun. I mean, I think my main issue with it was actually kind of UI/information based in terms of like, let's just say Charles had gone down to a spaceport and was accepting a mission. Other than him kind of reading it out to us, which was often confusing because you're doing other stuff, like nothing popped up on your screen. There wasn't anything about like the captain has accepted or like, and you could see the list of missions you were on, but it was very kind of, it's like, oh no, we're going over here now, and you often had no idea why. Like,
I think it relies upon real world communication and real world interactions. So, I know, right? So like, if you're on like a real spaceship and your captain accepts a mission, like you don't just automatically find out. He has to give you orders. He has to let you know what's going on. And I think that's what it's based around, is that hierarchy of control.
I just wanted that little bit more of information, I guess. Like, no, I didn't need to know what I needed to do as the pilot, let's say, or as the weapons specialist. But I just wanted a little thing of like, these are active missions down the bottom of the screen, because that was what, like, I could still get that info. It was just a few steps into the menu. It was just an ease of access thing. Because I think if they wanted you to not have any of that and for it to just be that Dan had that information, they wouldn't make it so that you could see it in your own screen. It was just that it was, to get there was really hard.
Seems nitpicky, Kevin. Seems nitpicky.
Well, it kind of went across the game.
The UI itself needs a bit of work.
Yeah.
It's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it as well, but not as much as Charles.
From what Catherine was saying, if someone on your crew accepts a mission or completes a mission, all it comes up with on your screen is mission accepted or mission completed. It wouldn't give you any information about it. There wouldn't be like a little, quest description in the top left-hand corner if you're on a mission, for example. Also, finding the location you had to go to was a bit tricky, and sometimes like some quests had a little search magnifying glass. Oh, this is the area you need to go. Other ones would just say, get to this space station. And you just have to look at the map and find it, which I'm not sure if that's their intent, because they offer both options there. But it was a bit difficult because there are hundreds, it seems like hundreds of places you can teleport to.
I'm more okay with that one. I guess like, oh no, I actually have to look around the galaxy to see where we go. The mission accepting one was just that it was really easy to feel like, let's just say I was on the ship doing something and fixing something up. For everyone else to have accepted a mission, handed in a mission, decided that we were going somewhere else, and kind of like you'd hear snippets of it from the voice chat, but yeah, just that you wouldn't get that info on your own screen in a really concise way.
Yeah,
fair enough.
What does the weapon specialist really need to know?
Well, that's it. Just keep your nose in the guns and keep your mouth shut.
Yeah. I mean,
keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, stupid weapons.
Stay frosty.
Stay frosty, indeed.
So jetpacking rounds, a lot of fun. The talent points are kind of fun. You level up in this game. You get talent points you can put in to different classes. I didn't really like the talent points. Didn't feel like you'd made an improvement. Like some of them were just sort of, you have percentage more health, or your gun does a little bit more damage.
Yeah, they weren't overly impactful.
Yeah. I think maybe if they had some stuff that was... They had a couple of talents as like this one specifically for pilots. It helps you steer the ship better. But maybe if it gives you an activatable ability, something like that would be really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Like a boost that suddenly you go faster for a bit, or that kind of stuff. That'd be cool. So this game essentially... Oh, yep, Kevin.
Oh, no, I think also the other thing that... I know it doesn't quite tie into the idea of like the captain and missions and stuff, but I wanted the feeling of like... you decide to do a thing and you all have to press OK and then talk about it. Like, not so much
Catherine.
No, not democracy. Like, I still want the captain to be in charge, but just that there are a few more things where, like, as a crew, you genuinely have to decide something together. Because that was what was happening over the speeches. Okay,
when we get spaceships, Catherine, and you're my crew, I make the decisions. You do what you're damn told.
Well, how about the system like Black Wake, where you could start a mutiny?
Yeah.
So if enough of you voted, you could put yourself up for captain, and if enough people voted, you would get booted out.
Out the airlock.
And someone else would take over the captain.
It was missing an airlock. Were there any airlocks on the ships? I don't think there were.
No airlocks, because it was all teleporter based.
Yeah.
Can't kill Dan like I want to.
Yeah, so this, but it's coming, Catherine. So this game was the poor man's Star Citizen, essentially. If you don't know what Star Citizen is, it's a very, very ambitious space game that's trying to do it all, and essentially be, your free world space game with everything that entails. I don't think it will ever actually get released, but we'll wait and see, because the development has been out of control, and there's a crazy personality in charge, and it's all kind of awesome. And some people think it's going to be great. Some people think it's never going to happen. There's been lawsuits. It's amazing. So this is your real budget version poor man Star Citizen that's playable right now, and a whole bunch of fun. So that's my take on the game. So for me, it's something I definitely wanted to play and had a great time and want to play it again, and we'll force you to do so.
Yeah, I think maybe if we revisit this game every sort of 6 to 12 months, once they've added more and more features, we won't get burnt out on it.
Well, so many features we didn't get to option. There's nukes, and the captain has to authorize nukes together with the weapon specialist. These are little things I want to do in life, Catherine. I want to achieve them, and I need your help to do that.
We need you listeners. We need you Game Club listeners to go out there and help Charles form a crew in Pulsar Lost Colony. And give us reviews on iTunes, because that really helps the show at the same time.
Pulsar and iTunes. Both.
Pulsar and iTunes, I think, should be your main priorities. So let's move on. I think we've covered majority of the game. If there's teamwork kind of games and you've got some fun friends like I seem to have, or at least fun co-hosts, then this is a really fun game to play if you communicate well and you can just get into the spirit of being a crew together. You're the crew of the Firefly, you're the crew of the Enterprise, whatever. Great time, but definitely can't recommend it to everyone, as it is a game in alpha and it has a lot of polish left.
Polish issues
to hit it. Yeah. Writing issues and stuff as well. So, what are your guys' final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm obviously sold. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Had a great time. There's a lot of laughter and a lot of teamwork. That's all I ask for in life.
And a little bit of abusing Charles when he tried to pilot through a warp gate, and just I don't want to say he missed every time, but his piloting was flaccid and
it
didn't
took me a
penetrate
good 2 to
the
3
gate.
minutes to get into that warp gate. Putting
Also,
things in holes is really difficult, guys.
Also, you're coming at it from the wrong end. You end up having to reverse out, go back around. Oh, that's
Wrong
the
entrance.
hole.
I think that's what we were screaming at you as you were trying to pilot.
Which probably doesn't help with piloting. I don't know.
No, stress is never good.
You
It was really
backseat
stressful.
pilots.
I was having a really hard time, and you weren't making it easier. So it was good.
Yeah, that's what you get.
I give this game 4 Captain Swivel chairs.
Yeah,
Out of
that's a
what?
good amount of Captain Swivel chairs.
Just 4.
Just-
It doesn't need to be an hour.
4. That's fair.
How reductive of you, Captain. Jeez.
I'm sorry. I give it
Okay.
5.
Yeah. Ambitious.
So make sure you
Probably
check out our
too many.
YouTube channel. You'll be able to find links in the doobly-doo to check out us yelling at each other, or check out the footage of us playing, and then decide for yourself if you want to, partake in those kind of shenanigans. Especially if we do a call out next time we want to play. You definitely want a full crew going into this.
Yeah, definitely.
One last note on it. I don't know when I bought this game. When I was looking at games that we all had in common, I was like, what on earth is that game? And so as far as I'm concerned, it just appeared in my Steam library randomly. So maybe it's in your Steam library randomly.
Maybe it's in everyone's Steam library. I think Dan and I got really excited about it 4 to 5 months ago, or maybe a
Did
year
we
ago.
buy a 4-pack or a 5-pack? Some kind of deal?
Or maybe we forced Catherine to buy it while she wasn't paying attention. Like how you guys use my eBay to send me wolf t-shirts. Could have been a similar scenario.
I did do that. Okay, according to my Steam receipts, I bought it last year in August. I have no memory of buying it. I've never played it. As far as I'm concerned, it was a free game. So.
It's the magic of Pulsar.
Yeah, it just turned up.
Yep.
Yeah, how do you... Oh, man, I want to know now. How do I check my receipt?
Well, if you, I was in my email, but if you,
Oh.
I bought it in August, so if you bought it then, we probably
Emma
planned
goes
to play
through-
it together.
Yeah, Emma goes through and
Yeah.
deletes all my unimportant emails that she deems unimportant because it stresses her out that I have thousands of unread emails in my Hotmail
That
account.
stresses me out.
So Game Club fans, if you've been sending Charles unsolicited fan emails, they're just getting deleted.
Correct. Or at least Emma probably reads them and then they get deleted.
Yeah.
Game. Let's move on to game recommendations.
Yeah, so my game recommendation is a game that I haven't actually played, but I'm really keen to, and I'm always umming and ahhing about it. It's called Elite Dangerous. This is the other poor man's Star Citizen that is actually a playable game, and it's another space game, but it's a little more polished, a little more modern, and AAA-ish as compared to an indie game. So if you're well into your spaceship and space exploration games from a first-person perspective, check out Elite Dangerous.
I would recommend Star Citizen because of all the reasons Charles mentioned before. It does have playable aspects, but it's certainly not a full playable game.
Yeah, it's not a game. It's a demo.
It's sort of demo modules. Like there's the ship module or you're on a space station module.
Do they have the first-person shooter module yet that they showed us like 2.5 years ago or whatever?
They do, but it's separate from the ship flying module, I'm pretty sure. But that game promises to have a lot of these kind of features where you will have a pilot and, someone in the gunner chair and then someone who is part of the ground team that is going to storm the space station while the pilot does laps or something. And if that happens, oh my God. However, not holding my breath on that one.
The main quote from the guy is, I don't want to build a game. I want to build a universe. Well, shit, mate. Yeah, I know, right? It'll be amazing. Like it's the game guy who did Freelancer. Do you remember when we played Freelancer in high school, Catherine?
No.
We got deep in and it was amazing. Oh, you endlessly disappoint me. No, I don't know. Yeah. You probably didn't. Piece of shit. So
yeah, I'm the
worst.
worst.
Really mean today.
Freelance Alpha 1-1, you are cleared for landing. Love that game.
Love that game. It's because you're sick.
I feel like you guys played it without me.
Almost definitely. So it's he just wants to do everything, and it will be the best thing that's ever happened if it actually happens.
Yeah, there'll be a universe in which that is a finished game, but it may not be this.
And I mean, you're not worried about it becoming the No Man's Sky of hype? Like...
No, because he's actually trying to achieve all the things he said, whereas No Man's Sky just said a lot of things and then didn't try and achieve them.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's the difference.
That's what you're justifying it to yourself as.
Also, I think it's like it's still raising money. Like it obviously made millions on Kickstarter or something ridiculous, and now it's still selling ships. Like you can buy the in-game ships for when the game releases.
If you want to spend $500 on a ship, Catherine, you can right now. You may never get to fly it, but you go spend that $500.
I mean, that sounds like a good investment.
Pledge now. All right, Catherine, you got a game recommendation for us?
Yeah, well, so mine are... I obviously don't play this kind of game very much, so I don't have any that I've played particularly. My recommendations are, one, if you liked this, that you should watch Firefly, because Firefly's great, and it feels more like Firefly than many other things I've played. And it just kind of has that vibe of like crew working together and fun shenanigans and exploration.
We can name ourselves Firefly people next time in roleplay.
That's very exciting. Actually, we should do that.
BSG characters.
Be what characters?
BSG. Nah, it's more Firefly than BSG.
Nah, it is more Firefly, yeah.
I want to be the cute engineer chick. Yes.
And then my other one was, I was reminded a little bit of some kind of moments of Mass Effect, because obviously you've got a crew and you're running around, going to space stations and doing missions. So, I mean, that's obviously a RPG single-player version of it, but I think, it's got the same kind of vibe. So, yeah.
And if your friends are open to it, romancing possibilities.
We could have roleplayed some weird alien forceful romance.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you can be Mikey Harris.
I could have done it with Dan. I don't need
Please
you.
stop.
Okay.
I'll recommend two other games really quick. If we're going off tangent from video games, try Space Alert, the board game, which is all about warping into an area and then working together as a crew to try and defeat the enemies. And like Pulsar, you warp and you're often thrown into these situations. You've got to react before your engine can warp again. And then another game which I haven't played but really want to play with you guys is Star Trek Bridge Crew. I think we mention this almost every week on the podcast. I want to play it so much.
I'm
not even a Star Trek guy.
I've been promised my virtual reality room in the next house that we live in.
Is this like your man cave though, Charles? Because I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah, I know, right? She's full of lies. The harpy.
You'll move house when your daughter moves out.
yeah, that's it. Joke's on her. We have to move every 2 years. So it's happening. And then, Dan, I will make you get a VR system as well, and then we'll play it with Josh, and it will be the best thing that ever happened.
And possibly Catherine.
Maybe Catherine.
Yeah, I mean, depending. Yeah. I won't have a VR system. I barely have a computer.
Oh, you could play it on the iPhone, I'm sure.
Maybe your iPhone X will play it on your cardboard face thing.
Fuck you guys.
No, Catherine, our very best friend. Quiz time.
Quiz time.
Oh, yes. Quiz time. Quiz. All right. Are you ready?
No.
No,
I'm
okay,
ready.
Good. All right. So my quiz is space themed, but it's also Pulsar themed. So I've combined the two.
Uh-oh. I know very
Is it prison Pulsar themed? Is there a prison thing?
First up, what is a pulsar?
Oh,
it is
electricity.
A star.
Oh shit.
It's a star that's like releasing neutrinos or some sort of energy blast.
It's an electricity thing. That's what I said.
No, I'm going with Dan. Dan gets that one.
Well, I mean, that's less.
It's going to be 1. No, I'll give it 3. I'll make it 3. I haven't decided on my point system. So, yeah, a pulsar is a neutron star that spins rapidly, beaming out regular pulses of radio waves. That's a simplified version. I don't know why the game is called Pulsar, but that's what it is. Maybe that's where the Lost Colony is. Spoilers.
Solved it.
How long does it take for the sun's rays to reach the Earth?
Oh, 12 days.
18 days.
8 days.
All right, so what were the final answers there?
I'm going with 8 days.
All right, well, I'll go with 12.
No, down with 18. Stick him at 18, and whoever's
Who's
closest
closer?
gets it.
So it takes 8 minutes. It's the speed of light. So, you know what? Honestly, neither of you get that one.
You know what's really bad? We're highly educated, but,
Educated. I have several degrees. To be honest, I'm not sure I would have gotten that one.
Yeah.
I've seen that Cillian Murphy movie where they go to the sun. I'm pretty sure he says it's 8 days.
To travel there, we're talking about the rays of light.
Whatever, Gavin, I don't have time for this. Next question. Wait. Technically, it's closer.
I'm not giving that to anyone.
This is bullshit.
Look, if you had said a day, maybe, but you were both so off.
I want the points, Captain.
You're not getting them.
Fine.
Next question.
Worth a point each. What are the 5 roles you can play in Pulsar?
Oh, pilot.
Captain, pilot, engineer,
scientist,
weapons specialist, and scientist.
I finished first.
All right, I'm going to give Dan 3 and Charles 2.
What?
Yes.
I finished first.
6 points, bitch.
This is out of control. This will not stand.
This is how I felt that one where you made the last question worth a lot. So take that.
I see. No, that's fine.
What is the largest planet in our solar system?
Jupiter.
That was at the same time.
It was. I'm going to give neither of you the points.
That's good.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
An astronomer called Jocelyn Bell Burnell detected the first pulsar star. What year was this? And the closest person will get the points if you don't get the exact year.
I want to say it was 1962.
I'm going to say 1961.
It was 1967, so that's Charles.
Yes! Oh, we were both pretty close, though. Look at us.
Yeah.
That was not an 8-day situation at all.
What is
3
the
points,
hottest
right? 3
planet?
points. What's the score?
Yeah,
What's
3
the score?
points. The
So
score
it's
is
5 to 6, because you
5 to
screwed
6.
me.
Charles, it's 5 to 6, yes.
Yeah.
What is the hottest planet in our solar system?
Ooh, it's a,
Planet.
I wanna
The
say
star doesn't
Mercury.
count. I'll tell you the star doesn't count.
yeah, I'm going to go Mercury.
Venus, then? Because I already said Mercury and Charles just cut me off.
I think it might be Venus.
And it is Venus. Dan, 3 points.
Right?
That's what you get for cutting me off, Charles.
It's the second one, isn't it? I had in my mind that it's the second one, but I'm like, that can't be right. It's a trick. My mind's trying to trick me. Okay, moving on.
Anyway, what is Pulsar a portmanteau of?
Say again.
What is Pulsar a portmanteau of?
Can you explain to me what a portmanteau is?
Portmanteau.
It's a combination of 2 words.
Oh, pulsating star.
Yeah,
Well done, Dan.
correct.
Well done. Portmanteau.
Well, I mean, maybe I should have made the question, what is a portmanteau? And then my follow-up should have been, what is Pulsar?
I think some of our linguistic fans of Game Club are just rock hard right now.
Rock hard.
6 to 12. All right. I'm not doing well.
I mean, 12 to 5, technically.
Yeah. Okay.
I will give the point.
I see what you did there.
I will give you the points to the person that's closer. A person who weighs 80 kilos on Earth would weigh what weight on Mars?
Oh, I'm going to say 72.
I'm going to say 37.
And Dan is correct. You would weigh 30.26 kilos, so he was not far off.
No shit, that was actually very close.
Good for you. I was very
Charles,
far off.
will you ever teach science?
No, never. Thank goodness.
Good.
I'm an English teacher. I can tell them how to write poems about space.
You can't tell them what a portmanteau is.
In my defense, that's ridiculous. But,
Is it?
Yep.
With 1 point per answer, what are the 5 factions you can play in Pulsar?
Oh.
League of Gentlemen.
Yep, the gentleman one.
WD Corporation.
Yep, WD Corporation.
Colonial Union.
Colonial Union.
I'm giving Dan all of these so far.
The Cyborgs. And
Nope.
the Creanthians.
No, stop.
Well,
Charles, you're getting
better.
minus points.
Oh, no.
I thought it was only 3, because that's what I said in my roundup of the
It
game.
is.
Well, so
She's
and there are
pointing out
2
your
more.
mistakes, Dan.
There are 2 more that are coming. All right, but I'll give Dan 3 points there. So that was the full. There's also the Fluffy Biscuit Company and the Polytechnic Federation.
I like the Fluffy Biscuit Company.
Yeah, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
And for our last question, I mean, it's not exactly a nail biter.
Oh.
What is the orbital period of the moon?
Oh, here we go. I'm going to say 12 days.
Jesus. I mean, who knows?
Wait, it should be really fast, right? Maybe it's like 4 hours. I don't know.
Orbital period. Ooh.
Because the satellite goes around like 5 times a day, doesn't it?
Satellite's a lot closer.
Do you know what an orbital period is?
Is that how long it takes to do an orbit?
Sounds messy and uncomfortable. Yep, I'm going to stick with...
The question is it in like an elliptical?
Wait, 30 days around. Yep, I'm going to stick with 30 days.
After 4 hours.
I'm gonna go with 24 hours.
Okay, it's 27 days, so Charles gets a rare victory.
Yes! I would say that was worth 12 points.
I wouldn't.
I would not.
Maybe 27 points for each day it goes around.
If you were close, I had another question, but it is 18 points to 8.
Who's your captain now, bitch?
Yep,
It is Dan.
You are.
Thank you. And thank you all for listening to our shenanigans on this podcast. It was a little bit loose, but so was Pulsar. So I think
So is Charles's fucking
works really well.
piloting.
Thanks for listening.
The quiz itself wasn't very close, but do you know what was close, Charles?
What was close, Dan?
The poll of the week for next week's game.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you, Dan.
Yep.
About 2 hours ago, I got on Emma's phone and tried to give another vote to Evil Genius, but I'm pretty sure you'd already closed the poll.
Possibly. No. I think I restrict it by IP address.
Oh, damn it. I should have gone off the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Curse my lack of knowledge of technology.
So we asked you, the readers, and I guess Charles and Charles and all the different bits of technology Charles can
Well,
get his
it's just
hands on.
one Charles, because he couldn't work it.
because he fucked it up. Which game you wanted us to play next? It was out of XCOM, Enemy Unknown, Evil Genius, and Undertale. XCOM came ahead with 42%, Evil Genius at 37%, and Undertale at 21%. So it looks like we're playing XCOM, Enemy Unknown.
Ugh, I'm really excited about it.
It was the only one I didn't want to play in that list.
Well, should have got some friends to vote harder or worked out how IP addresses work.
I voted
Apart from
3
that-
times. I can figure it out.
I voted 3 as well. Who were the other 2 mystery votes? We'll never know.
No,
So
I think
good.
it was more than that. Like, as in, I think there were more listeners, but I shouldn't have voted for Undertale. I backed the losing game. That's
Did you vote for Undertale? Oh,
I like
what a waste
I
of
really
your
want to play
votes.
Undertale.
Catherine, we should have joined teams to defeat
should.
XCOM. Classic Catherine and Charles.
We'll figure out if we want to put up another poll or whether Evil Genius is close enough. We'll put out a call to you guys in the Facebook group. Make sure you like, subscribe, and maybe leave us a review if you thought it was kind of fun, if you did better than us at the quiz, if you want to hear us play more games. I
Like
think that'd be
anyone
great.
could do better than Charles.
Impossible.
And head on over to patreon.com/NFGlive, and I'll probably pop up the Pulsar gameplay and some of Charles's amazing piloting skills there for patrons to have a look at.
Enjoyed me putting things through holes.
All right, that's all. That's all the time we've got for this week. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.